I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I'm excited to be here with you today on Heritage Day. Let's get this started with a prayer. God and Goddess, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Thank you for all the things that you have given us. Thank you for the love and the forgiveness and the chance of being that you continually give to us. Thank you for everything. I appreciate the position that you have put me in to be able to spread the good news to the ends of the earth as far as I can. I appreciate the position of being in the Shasta Vegan community and being able to organize and host these events for people. Please help bless the food that I am preparing and the ceremony, that it may go well and bring people closer to you. Please help us forgive others and help others forgive us. And please help continue to guide and show us the way that we may uplift ourselves and uplift the world around us. Amen. So today is Heritage Day, and I actually have, woohoo, look at this on the screen, the prayer for us, which I could also just read off of there myself. But I wanted to first read, I know I keep reading these, but I love it. It's so beautiful. It says, like a raging river, the past flows into the present. Lo, this river carries all the good and bad things of previous generations and deposits both upon the shore of the present, which is your shore. Yea, the sins of your ancestors are present in your blood, as the sins of past cultures are present in your customs. Embrace the helpful things of previous generations, but reject the hurtful. And pray that you pass on better things to the next generation. Therefore, at midday of the 5th day, contemplate peace with your heritage. Yea, speak these words. I'm going to put them at the bottom of the screen for those that want to say it with me. Our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent, send to all your angel of peace. May wisdom guide us as we accept or reject things from the past. May your angel of wisdom bless all that we pass on to the future. Amen. So be it. That is so beautiful and encouraging. It's so true that new family traditions start with us, and the things that we are believing, the things that we are participating in, even our daily customs of what we're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack. All these things we should be very aware of and consciously choosing things that uplift us in the golden ladder, right? The golden ladder of being, where our actions, our thoughts, our words are either uplifting us into higher heavenly realms or pulling us down into this lower contraction of consciousness, existence, consciousness, and bliss. So it's important that we are not only doing it for ourselves, but especially future generations, our children, that we're going to pass on all of these beliefs and traditions, and their outlook on life is so dependent on us as their teachers, as it should be. And we have a great role as parents to be able to train the next generation. These generations are going to be shaping the world. And even on a smaller scale, even if they aren't shaping the world, it is them. And we should be doing what we can to best support that soul and bring life and every positive thing that we can to the children. So sweet. I do want to read one thing from the Megillah before we get off of here. I don't plan to be on long because, as you guys know, my full moon celebration is tomorrow night, and I need to go and bake some fresh bread. It's going to be so good. I'm really, really looking forward to it. David D says, "Please, God and Goddess, help guide us to get our teachings out, to get your teachings out to as many people as possible." Exactly. And as I've said before, it's not about receiving praise or needing credit for any of it. Especially for me, I don't care about any of that. All I care about is using the tools and the platform, the power that God and Goddess gave me to do something that's worthwhile that my soul can look back on and not just see me following in the footsteps of a nursing career and doing what the world deems as successful, but doing what really is successful, which is uplifting other souls, helping to show other people the way, and being on it myself, right? It's not always about others. But that is one of the things I understand, that I'm in a position where I can influence others and be a positive light. So that's something that I find important, that I would like to do. Tom Tom says, "A woman, amen." Hi, Anana. Hello, Tom Tom. How's it going? David D asked, there's a second full moon event on Shasta. Yes, you might have seen some of the posts in the other groups. There's like a Mount Shasta Conscious community group. There's like a Telegram group with local events and stuff. Hello. Thank you, Tree, for the love. Oh my gosh, guys, gravity exists. This thing just fell on my head. Just kidding. So yeah, there usually is an alternative group at Sand Flat anyways, where the Rainbow family goes. I kind of mentioned this yesterday, and I'm grateful for that, because it gives the people that want to party their space, that they don't interrupt, what's going on up at the top. I'm really bummed that they did have the gate to Bunny Flat, or the gate at Bunny Flat to the top of the mountain, closed. I believe that it was done on purpose so that this event kind of would be going this way, instead of having a big group event with what I was planning and organizing. I was really excited. Well, I still am. It's not like I'm not going to do these things. But getting some music together with some of my friends, and preparing this little more of a ritualistic thing, and having some people speak and bringing some really powerful intention and purpose into it. It would have been really, really powerful if we were all the way at the top and had a huge group. But since they shut the gate, and they've kind of put us in this smaller spot, it's going to be different. But I'm looking forward to it. So hey, Britton, how's it going? Hiya there. I'm on my way to work, but woohoo, awesome. I hope that you have a wonderful day at work, Britton, and I hope that you are able to bring your love and light to the world around you. That's what we all should be doing, trying to be a better version of ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us, because the world really does need what we have to offer. I would like to read my poem this morning that I wrote with a post that I made, and it says, the souls in this world need your light. The souls in this world need your love. Remember the way of the lamb. Remember the way of the dove. Brothers and sisters, awaken once more. Answer the knocking on your heart's door. Open it up. Let love in and out. Love and forgiveness is what it's all about. Only love can take us higher, give us the true crown and lasting empire. This world needs love to change its way, so show your love to the world today. In the verse that I posted with that says, regardless of how others of lower vibrations view and treat you, be happy, dance in joy, and continue to love even those that slander you. For that is the way of Christ consciousness, and you are called to be Christ-like. Some really, really powerful stuff there. And I don't know about you, but it's really inspiring to me. I love all of these teachings. That was from the Holy Megillah. That was part of the Appendix 4, which is in this white book available at the Essene.org website. The website does need updated. You don't have to buy all the other coursework in order to get this beautiful book. But yeah, I definitely encourage you to read this, because it's amazing. Mine has gotten a lot of usage. The final thing that I wanted to do is actually, it kind of goes with this. If you haven't seen my other Heritage Day videos, I've kind of gone through a list of things that we can do to reconsider the traditions and reevaluate how we go about our heritage and coming to peace with that. Listening to music and diving into poetry and different things that come from that our heritage is that is part of our heritage, and embracing those things. So I encourage you to do that. But it does keep coming back to all these peace meditations, us, and what we bring to the table, and if we are at peace or acting in love or not. So the final thing that I wanted to read for today is in chapter 28, which is available in the online, the free version online. This says, working on improving your faults. Woohoo! In Benares, Yeshua met a sage who said, though elderly, I have lately decided to work on improving faults in my conduct that previously I considered too trivial to work on. For lo, I once had a pupil with many big faults. I had another pupil with small faults, but no big faults. Until this year, I had not seen either of them in many years. Behold, the one who previously had many big faults is now a great spiritual master. He is at peace with himself and the world. Because his faults had been so great as to be obvious even to him, he confronted them with vigor and persistence. The one who previously had no big faults had not worked on his small faults. Lo, over the years, some of those small faults have become big faults. Yeshua replied, when we turn the spotlight inward, let us first remove the large thorns from our eyes. Let us search for tiny specks of sawdust. But let not work on oneself be without forgiveness and joy. For lo, the somber Puritan is brittle. Wherefore I say, baptize inner scrutiny in the healing waters of divine humor. I really love that. As someone who, obviously, I know that I have my faults, but I definitely try to observe my behaviors, and I'm trying to be better. When you come across people that think that they can't do any wrong and they don't apologize for anything and they'll try to justify anything that they've done, it's really hard to deal with those kinds of people. So I'm trying to encourage you to not be like that. It's really important for us to all focus on ourselves and how we are interacting with the world around us, and truly work on that healing, bringing love and kindness and compassion to the forefront, and really trying to become those things. I've mentioned before about the love breath, where you can go and take a breath in and imagine yourself being covered in love, just surrounded by love, and then breathing that out to the world. There's different things that we can do to essentially become love and become more filled with that kind of a vibration, these higher vibrations of love and unconditional love and forgiveness and compassion, trying to understand that all of these souls under the dome, whether whether they're acting benevolently or malevolently, they are all our brothers and sisters, and everyone is searching for love. And if we can approach all of these situations more lovingly, it's always going to turn out to our benefits and the benefits of those around us. There's going to be temporary times where we take the loving approach and we do get attacked and punished because of the world that we're in. But just know that in the long run, God and Goddess see everything, and your good deeds, your kind words, your loving tone, your loving nature is going to be appreciated and rewarded in the long run. So definitely don't get discouraged, but continue to stay encouraged. Hey, Mark Sargent. Mark says, thanks, Anana, for continuing your message. Appreciate the dedication. You set a great example. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm definitely glad to be back on Facebook. And next month, I will be going on Mark's show. So I will let you know more about that in the future. Mark says, the souls of this world need hope from where I cannot currently say. That's definitely true. Tom says, truth is so important at this stage in the game. So much misinformation. Got to make sure we spread the truth. Definitely. And along with that, like what I've been learning more and more is that the truth is definitely important, but also wisdom giving the final nod to love and allowing love to have the final say, rather, again, than being I'm right, you're wrong, in this competitive or combative mindsets and vibrations. They're not of those higher heavenly realms. Sometimes it's better just to say, you know what, we'll just agree to disagree. I love you, and you can just believe whatever you want, especially in very minor things that really aren't as important in the long run, as salvation and why we're here and all these other really important factors, right? Paul says, "Hey, Paul, this world is starved for real love, even though so many people think they're expressing it." Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Keep shining that light, girl. We need more of it than ever. Yeah, and it's really interesting in the Megillah how it talks about love being connected to water, and how the water that we're drinking these days is so dead. Even all bottled water is required by the FDA to be ozone treated. So it literally, when it's coming out and getting bottled, it blasts the water. Like, it literally kills the water. When you're in the room that it's happening, people that will work there will say that it's like a screaming noise, a very, very loud noise that they hear, because the water is being essentially tortured. If you drink the water right off like right after it's been bottled, it'll actually make you sick. And yeah, it's interesting to see people that have worked in some of these water factories over time when they're only allowed to drink that water, and like just the life in them just diminishes over time. So it's really sad, but the connection between water and love is very interesting, and how we're just destroying all of these natural things around us, that are full of love and connection. Hey, Dave. Dave says, "Great poem. Love is the highest vibration, and maintaining that state despite outside influences is the goal." It is the goal, and it is really, really, really hard. So I definitely love, like, especially the Megillah, and getting to do these daily communions where I'm bringing my own attention back to that peace, because I need it. Like, I admit that I need it more than anybody. That, whatever, everybody needs it, right? And I don't see myself as over other people in, like, practicing patience and all this stuff. I admit that I need work. So I definitely appreciate having different scriptures and practices that can help pull me back and focus on love. Tom Tom says, "You got to understand this melted kingdom laying in ruins, heritage in our story. The whole world's been through cataclysms. It's hectic, evidence everywhere." There's definitely a lot of false history. I definitely agree with that. And the meltology stuff is really interesting. I know that, not just the meltology, but the mud flood, all of these different things that they have in the past done to reset, um, to wipe our human collective knowledge, and basically start us at ground zero with whatever truth and facts that they want us to believe, right? Even just like believing that the earth is a giant spinning ball, and cavemen, and all the history that we've been taught. So yeah, I definitely agree that it's really important to find the truth, but I also, um, not sure how much of the truth of history that we're ever going to be able to know until we have more power, right? The powers that be are hiding that. And yeah, so it's hard to know what is the truth and what is the true history. For me, I think focusing on my own spiritual situation and what is ahead is the most important. But yeah, there's so much left to be uncovered, so much truth left to be shared. Hey, Kyle Smith, how's it going? Hello, glad to be here. I'm glad that you could make it. Kyle says, "Wow, interesting about the bottled water. I only drink from a spring in Sedona." Oh, that's a blessing that you are able to, like, drink from a spring. Even the headwaters here, I don't, well, there's a lot of claims about them. They say that it's from melted water on top of melted snow from Shasta. I believe that it's from an underground source, that there is water underneath of us that we can tap into, even in the desert. If we were given control and we were able to tap into those water systems, the desert would literally be such a beautiful paradise with fruit growing everywhere, just exotic fruit and perfect temperature, perfect. God's design is perfect. And if we just stop spraying, stop messing with things, and allow it to return to normal, it's going to be so amazing. Tom Tom says, "The truth that has everyone's soul in state of amnesia is so important. They're traumatized from being zapped from an electrical discharge. We all need to heal from it." Well, that is definitely true. And I'm going to get off of here after this because, like I said, I have to go and bake bread. But You're so right, Tom Tom, that all of us have been in this state of amnesia that ultimately we agreed to by coming into this world. We agreed to having our minds wiped and having limited powers outside of these realms where we're just the divine gods and goddesses that we are. There isn't a limitation. You don't get hungry or sleepy, and you don't you don't have all these things. We agreed to come in here for a reason, and I really, really love the Megillah and how it talks about basically ascending to these higher realms, and then once we're there, we hear the heartbeat, and the heartbeat is asking, who will go? Who will go? Who will leave this beautiful heavenly paradise where there's no hurt, there's no violence or war? Who will go down to these contested worlds of violence and evil and darkness and be the light, be the hands and feet of mercy, and share that to the world? So I really find encouragement in that, and yeah, I hope that you do as well. All right, one more thing. So this is from the appendix, and I just wanted to just kind of interesting because so this is Jana, the Lady Christ, speaking, and she says, this is Appendix 4 in verse 99 on page 1097. Although the Lord Christ and I can step in and alter the situation with our powers whenever we choose to do so, our choice is to let our servants do as much as they can before we return for the great harvest. Sorry if I was covering up the microphone there. For lo, the great harvest is simply the movement of our disciples and all life forms that are ready to graduate this level, human and non-human, Nazarene and non-Nazarene, to a higher octave in the cosmic school system. And I love how it says human and non-human too. And it mentions earlier in the text that we're actually meant to be showing the way to our animal brothers and sisters. We're not meant to be preying on them and causing them fear and all this. We're meant to be showing them the uplifting way to live in peace and harmony, to be loving, so that they also can ascend the golden ladder as well. If we step in too strongly too soon, if we give too much assistance before the final bell is rung, we will never know which of our disciples would have heeded our warning and refused to link their natural brain to the artificial brain. Neither would we see which of our disciples, as well as those of other spiritual traditions, would perform great works of merciful love in these hard times of planetary tribulation. Obviously, we're not planetarians here. It's a world, whatever, just say whatever word you need to say. In other words, this world is but a school, and all souls will be tested. When it is appropriate, we will step in and raise those that have passed the test to the next level of the great spiral school of life. But we love all beings, and those that do not graduate this level at the time of the great harvest will have future opportunities. One thing that the universe has is plenty of time. Behold, just for the fun of it, at the time, I love this, just for the fun of it too, because you'll see reading this that God and Goddess are all about not just work, but having fun and playing, like being joyful and enjoying this beautiful creation that they have given us to play. They want us to have fun. They want us to be happy. They're good parents. They want to see their children run and play and love and just have so much fun. Behold, just for the fun of it, at the time of the great harvest, whether that be sooner or later, depending on the group conscious choices that must be made by humanity, we will live in a higher vibration version of this world with all those souls that resonate with the alternative reality. After 1,000 years of special communion with those that achieve the resurrection of great harvest, behold, each of you will go on to your next appropriate placement in the cosmic school system. So I love how she's literally talking about the golden age, right? And how we're going to have the opportunity to experience, we will live in a higher vibration version of this world with all the souls that resonate with that alternative reality. I love that. So hopefully that's encouraging to you as well. More understanding of the system that we're in and why God and Goddess allow free will and allow all the suffering and pain. There's always a purpose, and the purpose is ultimately moving towards the greater good. All of these things are moving towards the ultimate salvation for all beings. And having that hope helps us to experience all of these sadnesses and trials and tribulations with that light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that there is a positive outcome at the end. So hopefully that is encouraging for you. David D says that transhumanism, combining human with machine, is connecting with Satan. And yes, exactly. The last thing they'll say is please do heed that warning. Understand what is coming down the pipelines, at least what the powers that be have planned for us. There is no future technically set in stone, but the present path that we're on is not leading to the blessed future where we are in harmony and peace with nature, where we're thriving instead of surviving. This path is that we're on leads to AI takeover, where the workplace is connected to the master brain, and then you have to be connected to the master brain at your workplace, and all of this stuff. No matter what they promise, no matter what great miracles, no matter what threats that they make, please do not take that path of transhumanism. Please do not merge yourself with metal or machine or any of that. This body, first and foremost, is perfect. It's a perfectly enclosed system that once you understand true health and healing, you don't need, like, taking anything out or putting anything in is going to cause harm to the beautiful system that God created. They're going to come along and say, oh, look at this upgrade. Well, it might be an upgrade on the physical sense, but it's attaching you to demons and it's getting you away from God's design. You don't need that. All that you need is to find your true connection with God and Goddess, purify yourself, and then the powers, the ability, the everything that the dark side will try to offer, the real power and healing and all of that you're looking for comes from the light. So don't be lured into the darkness. Don't allow them to threaten you and make you feel like you have to do it. Don't make them make you fearful for your life. You are an immortal soul. Your soul is going to continue on. This flesh, the death of this flesh means absolutely nothing. You've been through the death before, and you'll be fine on the other side. Don't let them trick you into thinking that you need to upload your consciousness to live forever or any of those things. It's not worth it. They're just trying to enslave you, and please just heed my warning. That being said, I'm going to jump off of here and go try to get some of the bread cooked for today. I really appreciate this time to spend with you all, and I hope that you'll take some time today to think about your heritage, just connect with it and look at the good and the bad, and maybe think of some ways that you can pass on better traditions to your family, different ways of being, because that is how we will eventually change the world one step at a time. Anyways, I hope that you have a wonderful day. I will catch up with you tomorrow, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God and the Goddess bless you.